Hello, Robotics Notes fans. Happy November 20th. It is 5:01 in the morning, and as you can see here, my copy of Pokemon Scarlet was 1 day early for being 2 days late. It was supposed to be delayed until Sunday, but it came on Saturday. I guess we split the difference on whether or not I'm going to kill myself or not. But before I can do that, we gotta play Pokemon. Nope, that's not what we're playing. I'm just gonna load the data. Frau Kojiro POV. I feel sick. It's like part of my stomach below my belly button is filled with sludge. Sludge being slowly kneaded about. This disgusting feeling has persisted for half a day now. Oh shit. I am legit sick. Someone's breathing really loudly. It's noisy and irritating. By the way, I have got here a ginormous bag of Sour Patch Kids watermelon. I'm going to eat one of them. Do you know why? Fruit sour melon, baby. That's a reference. That's a reference to Robotics Notes. That's a Robotics Notes reference. That's a reference to Robotics Notes. That's right. That's right. That's right. I made a Robotics Notes reference. If you don't shut up the second, I'm going to town on you. Ugh. Turns out the idiot in question is actually me. I wipe the greasy sweat from my forehead. Boys should be the only ones panting in that delicious BL sort of way. Genki-kun, drink please. Thirst ain't no big deal. Get over it with a blast of spirit. Mute Genki-kun bot. Alright, got it. See you around. Genki-kun poses snappily as he disappears from my phone droid screen. Piece of shit. Genki-kun bot's uselessness makes me want to sue for compensation, said the girl who made him. Pick up a bottle of mineral water nearby and pour what's little of it left into my mouth. How's our water stock looking, Rosetta? There are no bottles left in the refrigerator. Let's take a walk and buy some along the way. I ignore Rosetta Bot's proposition and face my PC again. My sight is hazy. If I've been staring at my PC for too long, nothing like this has ever happened before. On the monitor is @channel. With my sight blurry, I can barely read what's on the screen. It's been over 12 hours since the Tokyo blackouts, but things still aren't back to normal. Though apparently some of the areas have power again. That's mostly in places like factories, which have their own private power generators. Even the electric companies don't have a firm grasp on which areas have power and which don't. Tokyo residents are desperately looking for ways to communicate, but the phone lines are overloaded. What was that hair in my mouth? Yuck. @channel is the only thing connecting me to Tokyo from Tanegashima, even if it's a very narrow source of info. Compared to 10 years ago, there are fewer users. During emergencies like this, it's faster than regular news. Tweepo's too much of a mess to be a reliable source of anything. Ignorant idiots believe everything they read. Then they spread it around and make things worse. It might as well be Spoeast. That said, while not as bad as Tweepo, @channel is full of trash too. What's fake? What's real? It's impossible for me to discern one way or the other. Yet still, I desperately search for any real info regarding Tokyo on the message boards. I do my best to sift through the falsehoods, tracing sources and working my way back to original posters. If I can trace things back to their original sources, I should be able to figure out what's going on. Or so I thought for a time. But now my brain is all scrambled eggs. I can't sort all this noise out. Just then, there's a sound from my phone droid. What? You have a message. Read it aloud. Sender, Kaito Yashio. Sending time, November 19th, 2019, 6:58 a.m. I called yesterday, but you didn't pick up, hence the message. I'm heading over this afternoon. We need to talk. This sounds like the kind of message you'd send an ex. Terra, self-conscious virgin Otts. It's about the warning message from Minami Kogori that was discovered in Gunveral's last episode. Something similar was written in the Kamijima reports. I gasp. Thought there was a bug on me. It was my sweatshirt string. I was real scared. I thought there was a spider in my shirt. The string just somehow got on the inside of the shirt. I'm feeling nauseous all of a sudden. Can't help but cover my mouth with my hands. I barely managed to hold down the stomach juices rising up. Here's what it said. Wide-scale simultaneous terrorist activity will occur, taking advantage of the chaos caused by the disturbance. Apparently the terrorism is going to take the form of some sort of robot insurrection. The warning from your mom might not be a conspiracy theory. It could actually happen. So I want you to tell me whatever you can about your mom. By the way, don't tell anyone else about this. See you later. That's it. Before I realize that I'm breathing heavily. Yashio-senpai is right. His anxiety is totally on the mark. Considering his pinpoint accuracy, this isn't just a fuggy idiot trying to troll. The Kamijima reports are true. A robot insurrection. This lines up with the one piece of truth I found amidst the noise after hunting for 12 hours straight. Actually, it's more like the insurrection is already happening. Amidst the noise, there are posts dotted around that feel out of place. Service robots were attacking people. A guide robot went out of control. An RI robot went haywire. Lol, it won't do what it's told, lol. They're all relatively low-key posts, nothing designed to get attention. Just a few words buried within all the noise. But they're slowly starting to bubble to the surface. They haven't yet caused a ruckus. The people of Tokyo are too busy right now with all the blackouts and loss of functionality all over the place. A robot insurrection. Just reading the words is enough to make anyone laugh. Even movies don't use plots as cliche as this anymore. If you think the word insurrection might cause misunderstandings, you could describe it as robots going AWOL. Thanks to next year's Robot Expo, the streets are filled with life-size robots more than any other city. Even police stands have deployed guide patrol robots. Robots run the registers at stores. Nursing robots are all over the place now. There's a surprisingly large number of them walking with and assisting elderly people. I hear that Shibuya, Akihabara, and Odaiba in particular have a large number of guide robots deployed. What if all of those robots stop doing what they're programmed to do? What a messed up world. Although I doubt robots are going to be picking up guns and shooting people anytime soon. But still, just the idea of humans losing control over the robots is enough to inspire fear. I don't know if this is an accident caused by the solar disturbance or some sort of intentional act of terror. Notice! After receiving Yashio-san's message, I checked your inbox. You've received 3,451 new messages. This number does not include spam. One message from someone related to the Frau Kojiro factory. 0 work requests. 38 seemingly positive messages from Kill Ballad users. 3,413 seemingly negative messages. That's a lot. That's a lot more negative mail than usual. But who cares? I never check them anyways. It's just that I can't believe I've gotten so many after only half a day. Open the Frau Kojiro factory message. Sender, Hanjuro Hattori. Sending time, November 19th, 2019. You're getting a call. Who is it from? Hanjuro Hattori. Just a message, now she's calling? I haven't even read the former yet. Well, she's a member of the KB team. I've never actually seen Hanjuro Hattori's face before. The only people I've met offline are Chuchu Yasumasa and Maguyan. The other members, Hanjuro Hattori and Kiss Pop, I've only ever called or messaged. Hanjuro Hattori is a 23-year-old NEET girl. Her real name is Mitsuko Hattori, currently unemployed. That's about all I know. Take the call. Okay, connecting you now. The phone droid screen reads sound only. Her face isn't displayed. Hanju, are you okay? Hanju refers to Hanjuro Hattori. I just call her that because it's easy to say and type. Wait, are the phone lines fixed? Or did you escape to Kansai or something? I got out. I'm in Nagoya right now. So she really did escape. Wonder if she knows what happened to everyone else at the factory. More importantly, Frauchi, please stop this madness. Taking over the RI Robot OS and stuff? What are you thinking? This isn't a game. Huh? Her sudden outburst makes no sense. Seriously, what's her deal? Why is she mad at me? What are you talking about? In Japanese, okay? Aren't you the one making all the robots in Tokyo go haywire and attack people? This is a crime. Not only that, but you went out of your way to reveal yourself, even taunting people online. At this rate, there's going to be no turning back for you. I don't understand what you're saying. Are you sure you don't have the wrong person? I can't believe you're lying to me like this. It's all over your Tweepo. Stop trying to hide it. Tweepo? Hanju, clearly he lost it. I figured she was on edge from all the stuff in Tokyo, plus having to flee all the way to Nagoya. But that doesn't seem to be the case. What do you mean it's all over my Tweepo, huh? Don't play dumb, just stop whatever you're doing right now. If you turn yourself in, you might still... I don't understand. I don't understand anything you're saying. If you don't tell me so I can understand, what am I supposed to do? Frauchi. I'm so confused. That's normal, right? She's just yelling at me without even explaining why. Especially since I have no memory of what she's talking about. I'm not mad or even sad. I just don't have words to reply with. Committing a crime? Taunting people on Tweepo? I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. You really don't know? But I'm certain it's all coming from your Tweepo account. Hey, have you used Tweepo in the last few hours? I haven't. Anju goes quiet after hearing my response. I can't see her face, so I don't know for sure, but she seems to be pondering something. Hey, what exactly is going on? You know what laboratory industry robots are, right? Their robot OS has been taken over by someone, and the robots are attacking people in Tokyo. I saw it myself. I had no idea why at the time, but I understood after escaping and seeing your timeline. A robot insurrection. I was literally just looking into this, coupled with what was written in Yashio-senpai's messages. Message, not messages. Don't know why I added an S there. But shouldn't most robots be busted after the solar disturbance? You didn't know? After the crash of 15 life-size robots come equipped with solar disturbance protections in place. Right now in Tokyo, the power is off, but only the robots are moving around. It's crazy. How could I possibly know that? but how could I be the culprit? I'm on Tanegashima right now. Besides, hacking the OS of a single robot wouldn't cause much damage. Robotics Industries' RIICH series have their data synced on the cloud. If you took that over, you could forcibly send commands to all of the robots. What did you just say? I can't tell if you're lying to me or not over the phone, but just take a look at Tweepo. Look at your posts. I do as I'm told and hurriedly boot up Tweepo. For some reason, it's asking for my account name and password to log in. Never seen this screen because I'm usually always logged in. This is weird. A feeling of discomfort circulates my body as I enter my password. As soon as I'm in, I find a host of tweets directed at me. Jeers and verbal attacks from accounts I've never even seen. Even death threats. These numbers are ridiculous. There are more tweets than I can count. Well over the thousands. I can't look through all of these. But I'm used to this sort of thing in my inbox. It's no biggie. It's always that way. I bite my lip and bring up the tweets from my account. What? How? My timeline is filled with posts that I don't recognize. So, you know the robots in Tokyo are going nuts and attacking people? I did that. I took over RIICH Series OS. That was easy. So made all the RI robots go crazy. Robots should be freed from human control. Wanna know who leaked the last episode of Gun Barrel? Me! A first in human history. A robot murders a human. Now this is big news. Oh, by the way, the server for RI is wide open. Anyone can jump in. You want to kick me out and get the robots back? Just get past the security I set up. I didn't write a single word of this. This wasn't me. It's fake, of course it is. I desperately checked my account. Frau Kojiro. This is me. What's going on? My account. No matter how many times I look, it's the account name I picked. A virus? Have I been hacked? The only thing filling my mind is the feeling of wanting to cry. At the same time, I feel miserable. I want to cry out with every fiber of my being. Lunacy and depression force their way into my heart at the same time. It's been taken over. Someone took over my account. I need to delete it ASAP. That should make it all better. Seriously? This is impossible. There's definitely something wrong. There's gotta be... I end up vomiting. It's unpleasant. My throat burns. Tears fall down my cheeks. The only thing that comes up are stomach juices. I haven't eaten anything since the day before yesterday. This is all a lie. A lie. This isn't me. Someone set me up. Last night's rain showers continued through today, which means I couldn't commute by scooter. It took me about 10 minutes to get here from school. The entrance of the abandoned hotel. Nearby is the intercom that Frau had installed into the building. She's not answering. She doesn't answer after 3 rings. She's either sleeping or out. By out, I mean she's probably taking a trip to the Ire General Store to grab a bite. But she definitely wouldn't want to leave on a rainy day like this. A shouldn't like Frau should hate the rain. I suppose I'll bring Mizuki-san up just in case. Call Ire General Store. Thank you for calling. This is the Ire General Store. Mizuki-san, it's Yashio. Oh, it's just you, Kai. Her energy levels drop dramatically. Every time I hear Mizuki-san act all polite, I can't help but want to interject. Who the heck are you? Did Kona-chan happen to swing by the store today? Kona-chan? Who's that? Frau Kojiro, the girl living at the abandoned hotel in front of the airport. Oh, that girl. Nah, haven't seen her today. Got it. Thanks. And that's that. I tried pressing the intercom button again, but there's still no response. I'd say there's a plenty strong chance that she's just pretending to be out. However, I'm uneasy after yesterday and today's events. The Tokyo blackouts and Frau's terrorism declaration are the hot topics of the moment on the net. Early this morning, Frau suddenly declared that she'd taken over the RI company's Service Robots OS. She then started saying crazy things to taunt people, so everyone on the net is lashing out at her. That's why I left school during my lunch break and came here. Come on, for real? Don't tell me she's gone into hiding or something. Considering everything she said on Tweepo, it would make sense for her to run. Which means it doesn't matter how many times I push this button. But on the other hand, I have the bad feeling that she might have been framed. Frau's the only person I've told so far about the contents of the Kamijima reports. Then there's Frau's mom, Minami Kugori, who was likely erased for opposing the Institute. Frau came to this island in search of her mom. It wouldn't be strange if the Institute or committee abducted and threatened her into cooperating by using her mom. Man, I'm just coming up with my own original conspiracy theories like it's no big deal now. I scoff at myself and call the number of the security company on the intercom sticker. My cousin won't answer no matter how much I call, so I'm breaking in. Please send security over ASAP. That's basically what I told them. The call center girl who answered did her best to stop me. Nice try. After hanging up, I find a fist-sized rock among the weeds. I take aim at the glass door and throw it as hard as I can. I crouch down low, but move quickly and climb the stairs to the third floor, stopping to catch my breath. I look down the hallway. There's no sign of anyone here. Might have gone a little overboard. If Frau asks me for reimbursement later, I'll just play dumb. I seriously didn't think it'd break like that. I'm feeling super nervous. Not about having to pay, about making noise that loud. Like, what if someone has Frau confined in her room? It's possible that the culprit could do something bad in response to the noise, like killing Frau or ambushing me. Nah, I'm sure it'll be fine. I force myself to think positively. Anyways, I head to Frau's room. I check for sounds inside the room through the door, but I don't hear any talking. I gently turn the doorknob. Ugh! Unexpectedly, it's unlocked. Whenever I visit, Frau always keeps her room locked. She only opens it when I knock from the outside. But if it's unlocked, does that mean nobody's inside? Or I imagine a gruesome scene awaiting me inside the room and hesitate to open the door. But I can't turn back now. I need to check inside. So I guess the go, no-go decision is a go. I brace myself and slowly open the door. Jeez, it's cold. Is nobody inside? I don't see anyone. The AC is on, so it's as freezing cold as always. PC is still on too. Actually, even her phone droid is just sitting there. The room is filled with the smell of mold and must. This might actually be worse than usual, partially because of the vomit on the floor. It looks like a stain because it's dry. Clearly Frau hasn't been eating much. There are no solids. I prefer not to look at it straight on. I take a look around the room and sigh. Frau's nowhere to be found. I figured she might just be sleeping, but I was wrong. Did I miss her on the way over? And she's at Mizuka-san's place now? Was she kidnapped? A sound. I hear a sound. It's mixed in with the low humming of a PC. It's a sound of water. I immediately turn to the entrance. That's where the bathroom door is. It's currently shut. Upon closer inspection, light is visibly leaking from the opening at the bottom. Someone's inside. I was so nervous when I came here that I didn't even notice. There's definitely a sound coming from inside the bathroom. It's the sound of water flowing from a faucet. Good grief, enough is enough. I'm so fed up with all of this. Why does everything have to be such a pain? Why can't fate just let me play games in peace? After internally ranting for a bit, I charge into the bathroom without hesitation. I'm awash with regret. My immediate impression is that I've just laid eyes on a corpse for the first time in my life. Frau's skin is pale like that of a doll. She doesn't even look real. It's then that I realize I'm surprisingly calm. I walk up to the tub and turn off the faucet. It looks like she slit her wrists. Why did she have to commit suicide? Guilt for her crimes? Was she pushed to the edge after being framed by the Tavistock Institute? Kona-chan, rest in peace. I move to take the cutter knife out of her hand, and it falls. Huh? Frau's eyelids open slightly. She looks toward me, and suddenly grasps my wrist tightly. Hey! I'm so shaken that I fall back onto my butt. The bathroom floor is wet, and the cold sensation returns me to my senses. Kona-chan, you're alive! Actually, I don't see any blood anywhere. Had she not attempted it yet? Are you alright? What the hell are you doing? I hurriedly grab her by the shoulders and give her a shake. Her body is shockingly cold, enough to make me shiver. Frau's eyes remain half open. She's still gripping my wrist. Hiccup. A trickle of tears descend from the corners of her eyes. Kona-chan? Defiled. What did you say? Gunvero is being defiled. Yashio-senpai. Help me. The lady just barely gets her words out. She's not some super genius high school programmer girl that uses old net slang from a decade ago. She's just a lonesome, frail girl asking for help from the depths of her soul. I'm wrapped up in a blanket. Frau's in her usual camisole and short shorts. Achoo! I'm the one who wants to sneeze. My bad. Here, drink this. And Frau a mug full of hot corn soup. She already had one, but she said she wanted seconds, so I made some more. Frau obediently takes it and puts it up to her lips. Ow, that's hot. Well, duh. She already made the same mistake on the first cup. Maybe she just can't handle hot things. I take a sip of my own soup. I can feel my body warming up from the inside. It's been about 1 hour since I discovered Frau in the bathroom. Ended up ditching afternoon classes. This shut-in actually filled her tub with the intention of slitting her wrists and dying. But since she hadn't eaten for several days, she had no strength, nor did she have the courage to actually do it. Sitting in the tub, hesitating, her body temp dropped, leaving her incapable of exiting the tub on her own. She probably would have died if I hadn't stumbled across her. It took a lot to drag her out of there. Plus, she was totally nude, so I didn't even know where to look. Granted, in that situation, the last thing on my mind was Frau's body. Plus, she ain't got nothing on Nason. That said, going forward, it might be a wee bit difficult to talk to her face to face after remembering this. Anyway, I wiped Frau dry, not die. That's what we were trying to avoid. Wrapped her in some blankets and turned up the heat. Made some corn soup to warm her up. All of this hard work is paid off as the color is returning to Frau's face. I had her put some clothes on earlier. Some dudes from the security company I called came after I took Frau out of the bathroom. Try explaining this to them. My own clothes are currently drying. Frau offered to lend me a shirt, but our sizes are totally different. So here I am, walking around the place wrapped up in a blanket. So, how about spilling the beans? What's up with those tweeps? Frau's still hanging her head. She's just staring at her mug of corn soup. In particular, I want to hear all about you taking over some robot OS or whatever. As far as I can tell, there's actually a robot insurrection going down in Tokyo right now. It wasn't me. I've been framed. Someone took over my Tweepo account. You mean they hacked into it or something? Not exactly computer savvy, so I just tossed the idea out there. I don't know. I checked for viruses and stuff, but there were no hits. How does this happen? Frau covers her mouth. She seems like she might throw up. 1 second. I'm back. I find it hard to believe this young lady's a terrorist. At the very least, it doesn't look like she's lying to me. Still, robot insurrection. Kimijimi reports are on the mark again. Terrorism taking advantage of the chaos caused by the arrival of a large-scale global solar disturbance. That's exactly what's going down in Tokyo. Gejine, are you there? Yes. When I call out to Irie, Gejine, she promptly appears, but for some reason she's facing the wrong direction. What are you looking at? Since we're indoors, I'm currently unable to see you, Yashio-san. Ah, that's right. To be fair, it doesn't really matter if Irie or Gejine if they can see inside the room or not. So that robot insurrection in Tokyo, do you have any info that points to the Committee of 300 being involved? I'm collecting info, but the number of online users in Kanto has rapidly declined. Info volume has dropped to 20%. Collected information is currently under analysis, so I'm unable to answer your request at the present. I'm gonna sneeze. Good grief, she really is inflexible. That's fine, you can go now. Excuse me. So, that's the dealio, Kona-chan. How much do you know? Things are going nuts on the net right now, but I only know the general beats. There are blackouts all over Tokyo. Power still hasn't been restored in full. Even I know that. They keep saying they don't know when things will be back to normal. In fact, they still don't. The fact they still don't know speaks to how serious this situation is. Though apparently some areas have, in fact, gotten power back already. Either way, the solar disturbance really did a real number on things. Folks are currently pretty sympathetic toward the whole situation. That won't last forever. With Tokyo effectively shut down, Japan's economy is all but dead. And then there's what Akio said this morning. At this rate, next year's expo could be cancelled. Is that really what she should be concerned with right now? But I do get it. For those of us living in Tanegashima, the things happening in Tokyo seem like a distant dream. Enough about the blackouts, I want to hear about the insurrection. You know the RI company, right? RI. Frau taps away at her PC keyboard and opens up what seems to be the robot company's homepage. It's short for Robotics Industry Company. The RI company is third in Japan when it comes to the market share of service robots. Their sales are especially strong in big cities. The RI company's robots are known as the RIICH series. They're service robots that specialize in guidance. You always see them at police boxes or walking around the city. I remember seeing one the last time I was in Tokyo. I spotted one from a distance when I was in Odaiba, but I didn't have the chance to talk to it. But when Michi brought us to our hotel in Akihabara on the second night, I saw a bunch strolling around. We passed about 3 robots while walking down the street over the period of 5 minutes. The robot OS on the RI's company's servers apparently got taken over. Doesn't that mean you'd be able to do whatever you want with all the robots? Only with RI company robots. It wouldn't work for other makers over their dead bodies. But aren't the RI company's robots readily available for purchase? That means they could be all over the place. Why does an ad on the top of their own website have a skip button? So if you take over the server, does that mean you give orders to all the robots? And what's a robot OS? The RI company's RIICH series uses cloud computing to unify data between all of the robots. You get what that means? Actually, I don't. The cloud, that's the thing that lets you share data across a network, right? Frau nods. She then taps away at her keyboard again, this time bringing up a page that explains the RIICH series. The RIICH stores their OS and memory on the network. They're effectively always online. This allows hundreds of thousands of robots to share each other's data. It optimizes them. They totally lose their individual quirks, so there's zero difference between the services they offer. They share info in real time, so this is apparently the best system for the RIICH series units specializing in guidance. Any bugs in a robot can be crushed immediately, so it reduces labor costs for maintenance. But that always made people uneasy in terms of security. And they were right to feel uneasy. If a single location manages all the data, just take control of that location and you have access to all the robots. Apparently the RI insiders can't stop the server either. They could physically stop it, but the server room is locked electronically, and with these blackouts, well... So then you might ask, if the server room systems are down, wouldn't that mean the server is down too? Nope. It has a dedicated power generator in case of blackouts. Folks on Achan say it could run for 3 days. I get it. And everyone's acting like you're the perp. But isn't it weird that people are so willing to believe you just because you supposedly confessed on Tweepo? Aren't folks online usually more suspicious of things like that? Even if the robots are actually freaking out, wouldn't they figure out pretty quickly that you didn't do it? Not necessarily. The RI server is currently inaccessible from the outside. That's due to the lock on the perp put on it. A lock. You'll understand once you see it. Frau taps on her keyboard and opens a certain page. The source is displayed, but I have no clue what any of it means. This is the server with the RIICH series data on it. It's totally open, so anyone can get in. I thought you said it was locked. I assume there'd be at least a page asking for a password or something. But nope. Alright, I'm gonna try and enter the OS section where I can force the robots to do my bidding. Frau taps the keyboard and then the monitor goes black. A moment later, something appears on screen. Kill Ballad? Frau's face goes pale again and she places her hands on her mouth. She starts dry heaving over and over again. Someone used Kill Ballad as a lock. I won't let them get away with this. Mark my words. What do you mean by used? How is it being used? The version of Kill Ballad being used as a lock only allows for CPU battles. And the opponent is the same every time. According to the person who took over my account, beating the CPU in a match will release the lock. Huh? Alright, after hearing all this, I can see how people suspect Frau, especially after her tweeps. Sniffle. Because of this, the scumbag that did all this. Because of them, Gunveral's being defiled. I don't care if Frau Kojiro or Kill Ballad gets made fun of. I don't give a shit. But how dare they drag Gunveral and Mama into this? How dare they? Frau's shoulders sadly slump. Her eyes are wet. Frau's the type to clown around using all kinds of old slang, so I've never seen her so despondent before. All that I have left is Mama and Gunveral. Of Mama is Gunveral. I don't want it to be defiled anymore. And yet, I totally let myself get used. What should I do? After Frau announced herself to the world, she had everything about her looked into and spread on the net. Kono Furugori's real name, photos, her relationships to Gunveral's director, Minami Kugori, all of it. Minami Kugori's hidden message had only just been unearthed, so this just added fuel to the fire, and so people theorized that What are you doing? What is up? My cat's so angry. Wow. I don't know what he's so angry about. I know you have food and water. I fed and watered you when I woke up a couple hours ago. I think he just wants to get into my room. That's a shame. People theorize that Minami Kogori was the true mastermind and her message was an advance notice of her evil deeds. Considering how knee-deep in conspiracy theory BS I am, if I didn't know Frau, I very well might have just been just like him. I gently rub Frau's back as she cries. I'm not really doing it to console her or anything. I just don't know what to say to her. But I just have to win a single match, right? Huh? And my opponent is a CPU? Psh, no biggie. Sounds to me like an easy win. I'm surprised nobody's beaten me to the punch. Frau knows how good I am. Hell, I'm the second best in the whole damn world. I'm one step away from the top. Yet she didn't even try to ask me for help, instead choosing to end her own life. It's way too soon to give up. I accept their challenge. Don't get me wrong, I'm not underestimating my opponent, but at the end of the day, they're just a CPU. Once I figured out its patterns, it'll be easier to handle than an actual person. I'm the perfect guy for this job. Yashio-senpai. Frau stares at me, her eyes wide open. She then begins to cry again. She grasps onto me. Whoa, hey now. Senpai, I'm counting on you. If you win, I'll lick your collarbone as much as you want. Thanks? Take a hard pass on that. Anyhow, let's get this party started. I paste the URL into my phone droid browser and head straight for the locked page. Kill ballot immediately boots up. Jeez, straight to the pre-battle menu too. Visually, there's no different from regular KB. And as always, I go with gun barrel. My opponent is Snyder, a long-range character that specializes in sniping. That bastard gave me a hell of a time during our cheater hunt. It's then that I'm hit with deja vu. Wait, that CPU has an actual account name? That's a first. And then there's the name itself. Huh. It's not particularly strange. But even though the match is about to begin, I can't take my eyes off the CPU's account name. Takasono Blee 2019. That's the account name attached to the CPU. What's with this deja vu? Have I fought this thing before? It can't be. They're a CPU. So have I seen it somewhere? Why is this name so familiar? The light bulb in my head turns on. The cheaters. What? Takanoi, Hanasono, Bob Lee. The account names include elements of all three cheaters' name. You're right. Could the person who took over the RI company servers have something to do with the three dead cheaters? Or did they just cobble the account name together based off the three players who were on the top for so long? I don't know, but it's unsettling either way. I figured this would be an easy win, but maybe I spoke too soon. Despite all the attention this thing is gathering, not a single person has beat it. Is this the reason why? As soon as the match begins, I get my answer. It was over before it even started. Me, of all people. Second best in the world, and I didn't stand a goddamn chance. Senpai. I got my ass handed to me. What the hell kind of bouncing is this? This game is total trash. What the hell? You gotta be kidding me. Whew. I don't think there's anyone in the world who could face this thing and win. Even Tajireen probably couldn't. Whoever set up this lock put an absurd CPU together to prevent anyone from getting in. Plus, this is no ordinary CPU. Felt a lot like I was fighting the other cheaters. What exactly do you mean? Remember how I said the account name was a fusion of the three cheaters' names? Its tactics also feel like a fusion of their play styles. The way it was able to snipe me at range with pinpoint accuracy even between the buildings. The way it's able to counter my close range attacks with insane speed using a machine that sucks at range. And then there's the awful lag attacks that Hanasoda utilized. It's almost like the three cheaters have possessed this thing. It's both kind of nostalgic and disgusting all at once. I could tell from the way it felt in battle. This thing is the same as those cheaters. Or you could say the reverse. Maybe those three cheaters were actually CPU opponents. The actual people died months ago, but if their online characters were just CPU controlled, then they could continue. That explained why the cheat tool didn't detect anything. I never asked, but what ended up happening with those murders? No further information. Chuchu Yasumasu told me the police won't even respond when asked about it. It's possible that the person who used those cheater accounts and the one who hacked into the servers are the same. There's gotta be someone who knows KB super well. Well, not that it matters to me. Senpai, is that your attempt at acting tsundere? Nope, I really don't care. This is Frau's problem. Not something I can solve or fix. But still, as someone who's trying to be the best in the world at KB, I can't let this loss stand. Senpai, Do you mind if I get a little serious against Takasob Konachan? Takasob? Takasobli 2019. Cut it down to Takasob. Oh, and apparently it's totally fine to challenge Takasob over and over again. There's no penalty for losing. Bastard sure seems confident in their little creation. I can feel myself getting annoyed. More reason to not lose. I have no clue what you're after, but it's time to teach you what happens when you make me angry. If the goddamn CPU thinks it's got one over me, think again. Misaki Sonomiya POV. From the 17th floor office, I can clearly see pillars of smoke rising from within the city. Here in Aoyama, we got a front row seat to Shibuya's incredible restoration over the last 10 years. On the right side stands a forest of Shinjuku buildings. There are several pillars of smoke rising from that area as well. It's entirely possible that people are rioting in the bottom of those buildings now that laws mean nothing. It's complete savagery. And it's terrifying. Can't believe that a major megalopolis like Tokyo can turn into this after just 24 hours of power outage. Luckily, Exoskeleton HQ is equipped with its own generator, so it was able to recover fairly quickly. That said, smaller electrical devices are still useless. The prototype test hugs have all been destroyed because they weren't equipped with anti-solar disturbance tech. Most hugs on the market have them, so there hasn't been any major trouble just yet. The office is quiet. Most of my colleagues in the hug testing department have left in the morning, wanting to go home even if it meant walking. I tried to talk them out of it, but they didn't listen. Fools. Are they that desperate to go home? Is this something I would understand if I was married with children? Regardless, I probably wouldn't go outside for any reason. It's too dangerous right now. I, of all people, understand this. Do you see something? Silently, Sawada, the department head, appears next to me. He keeps his eye pointed down at the scene playing out below us. He's also taking shelter here. There's a fire in Shinjuku. Shibuya is surprisingly quiet. There are quite a few life-size robots in Shibuya, but there doesn't appear to be any trouble yet. It's possible that they shut down the entire system, forcing the robots into sleep mode. The 21st Century City, eh? What a fitting name. Project Mars is still on track, but this is only a rehearsal. This isn't the real deal. Not yet. Just above Shibuya are a series of black spots, almost like stains in the sky. 3 or 4 of them, actually. They're mainstream media helicopters flying about, desperately trying to relay Tokyo's current situation to the public. They look like flies circling a rotting carcass. I close my eyes to avoid looking at such a horrid sight. The broad cobalt blue sky of my home island comes to mind. And that is another episode of Robotics That's Elite Like Animal Crossing. I will see you all tomorrow for another episode of Robotics That's Elite Like Animal Crossing. Big long one today. 50 minutes. Over 50 minutes even. See you all tomorrow for another episode of Robotics That's Elite Like Animal Crossing. But until then, Nochio!